is Mitch from Fitness Business Consulting. Today I'm going to be talking to you about our 8 most common client frequently asked questions and why we use them in our marketing. Now, this is for us as gym owners. These are the commonly asked questions that we've received from prospects and potential clients over the years. And then, like I mentioned, we're also just wanting to discuss how and why we use them throughout our marketing to help attract new members into our program and nurture those prospects that end up in our network and in our web in aim to convert them into paying clients. So I'm going to start with a list of the 8 most common frequently asked questions, along with the answers that we have received throughout our career as fitness business owners. Like I said, we have used these throughout our marketing to attract new members and in our lead contact sequences to nurture these prospects into becoming new members. So obviously it goes without saying, but if you use these, make sure you adjust and change and make necessary, appropriations of these so they are a little bit more suitable for your specific program. So first one, I've had some time off exercise. Is this suitable for me? And our answer, yes, the majority of new starters have either had a layoff from exercise or starting out for the first time. So we feel as though this is something that is commonly thought and commonly asked for anyone who is either starting something new or thinking about starting something new. A lot of the time they've had time off from anything regular and they're worried it may be a little bit too hard. So we always want to address that. Number 2, I have a few injuries. Will I still be able to do this program? Yes, most people in our program have had some sort of old injury or medical concern, so you're not going to be alone there. And we're able to modify, adjust, adapt, and find alternatives for anything that may aggravate this area of concern. So a lot of people that kick off something new or think about kicking off something new have a sore back, sore knee, sore hips, bad neck, dodgy shoulder, and it can sometimes be a roadblock for them starting something new, either something that they manifest in their mind or they literally think that they're not going to be able to do certain exercises or do the program if they do have this limitation. So here in the answer, mentioning that they're not alone there, and there are a lot of people who start that have similar issues, which is true. And also for us, at least in our program, we are able to modify, adapt, and adjust and find alternatives to these exercises and to the program to make sure it's suitable for them. And I would hope that anyone, listening and watching this, if they do have their own program, are able to do the same. Question number 3, do I need to be fit to start? Answer, absolutely not. Typically for those who kick off with us, they would consider themselves a beginner and feel as though their level of fitness is at square one. We begin by going back to basics and ensure we meet you where your current level of fitness is at, which is normally quite low. So if this is you, then there will be plenty of others in the same boat. So for us, a lot of our marketing and a lot of the new people that we have start are typically newer people who haven't really done a lot of fitness or a lot of training or a lot of exercise in recent times. This ties in with one of the earlier questions as well. And I'm sure if you are an owner or a trainer or a coach, you have heard people say that they want to get fit before they start. And, we all know that you don't need to wait to get fit to start. You get start and then you get fit in that process. So we just want to address that. And again, wanting to make it known that most people are in the same position. We start by going back to basics. We don't have expectations around where your fitness needs to be or where it should be. And most people we have start are at square one or even before that. If this isn't the case with your program, adjust this accordingly. But I know for us personally, this is normally the case, so we can say this with confidence. Number 4, what if I can't keep up in a session? So whether this is personal training, group training, semi-private training, it all is kind of the same. And our answer, your workout will be personalized, customized, and tailored to your current level of fitness. For everyone starting out, we start from scratch and have no expectations around your fitness. So if you are a little concerned about it being too hard, then there is no need to worry. We normally have a handful of new starters each week, and the vast majority of them would say their fitness is low, so the workouts will always be representative of your current state. This is true for our program. Now, we're not doing personal training within a group training model, but we do personalize, customize, and tailor this for each person. If we have 15 burpees within a 4-round workout, and they're having to do that 4 times, in addition to some rowing, in addition to some push press, in addition to some sit-ups, and we feel like 15 burpees each round is going to be too much, we might lower that to 10 or to 5, or adjust the burpee to be a down up, or do it off a bench or off a box. That is where the personalization, customization, and tailoring this workout is really suitable for anyone starting out. And we, again, can say this with confidence because we know we do it. But it is important that we address this, because it is a very valid concern for people starting out, especially if they are feeling quite unfit, which most people will be if they're starting something new, at least with us. And we've had countless people tell us their horror stories of when they've been in previous programs and they couldn't keep up with everyone else, and they felt like, they felt embarrassed, and they felt like a bit of an idiot because they couldn't do some of the stuff that the other fitter people could do. So it's always a good thing to be able to handle this question prior to them, coming into your network, or prior to them having to ask you. It is nice to be able to lay that all on the line and sort of put forth what's going to happen if they can't quite keep up. And again, making it known that most people are in the same position. Number 5, I don't have any knowledge about exercise or training. Will that be a problem? Answer, no, not at all. In fact, it's rare that anyone starts out with us that has any substantial knowledge about anything specific to form or technique in the program. This is why there will be a trainer with you every session and alongside you every step of the way. They'll be there to help ensure you are doing everything safely. If we're using equipment, they'll make sure it's suitable for you. If there are modifications or adjustments needed for you, they will provide personalized recommendations for you. And finally, they will make certain you are getting the most out of your program. So there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, acknowledging that most people don't have any idea what's happening when they come in. Obviously, you do have some times where people will come from another similar program and they may know a few things, but for us, again, personally, most people don't. So just acknowledging that that is the case, and if that's them, they're not alone. Again, mentioning there is going to be a trainer at every session to help. Ensure you're doing everything safely, making sure equipment's appropriate, making sure they're modifying and adjusting things to suit, and making things a little bit more personalized so they're able to work out safely, effectively, and efficiently, and get the most out of the program. So there's a bit of a running theme and recurring theme here where we are addressing the fact that if we are needing to change things for you because you're not that fit, we can do that, and we'll make sure it's appropriate for you and you're still getting a good workout in. Number 6, is everyone else going to be super fit? Answer, no, quite the opposite actually. We have a number of new starters kicking off every week, and for the most part, they've had a significant amount of time off regular training, or this may even be the first time doing anything like this. Everybody started out the same way, so we always see amazing encouragement and support from everyone else in the program too. We have always tended to attract people to our program who are positive and supportive, who love to see others thrive and succeed. Can confidently say this is 100% true for our program. If it is different for yours, then make the appropriate adjustments. But we always make sure that we have, new people be welcomed. We have other people, without even being asked, encouraging and supporting them. And then also just making it very understood that not everyone's fit. And our program, there are people who have been with us for a long time who are a lot fitter than when they started, but by no means fit if it is something that can be looked at on a linear scale. But they are fitter than they used to be, and not everyone is super fit in their eyes. So making it known and making it clear that we have a lot of people from all different walks of life, and they're all at different stages, but they all started at the same point. And then we love to see people thrive and succeed, and we encourage and support them from us, from the coaching staff and the trainer staff, but also with the members as well. Number 7, I've tried and failed before. How will it be different this time? Answer, we have made a living in helping people not only make progress, but sustaining these results too. It is a two-way street, and we need you to hold up your end of the bargain too, but can promise that we will do everything in our power to provide the accountability and support you need to achieve the results you want. So making it clear that it's not going to be easy. You can't just join the program and you're going to automatically get results. So that's why I'm saying that it is a two-way street. We need you to do your bit. But then just making it clear that we are going to do everything we can to help hold you accountable, to help support you, to make sure you are able to see the results that you want. So quite often people have tried things in the past and failed. And most of the things that people have tried in the past don't have that level of accountability and support, whether it is some sort of diet or some sort of nutrition plan, or maybe they've tried going to a 24/7 gym where they're just in doing their own thing. But not as many people have tried group training or personal training or something where there is more of a level of accountability and support. So we just really want to highlight the fact that this is why we're different, and that's what you're going to get, and that's what's going to help you. And then the last question: I'm not very motivated. Can you help me? Answer: motivation is one of the most common things that new starters and our existing members struggle with. We develop personal relationships with all of our clients and have systems in place to not only hold you accountable to your goals, but also support you inside and outside of the four walls of our facility so you can stay on track with your journey. Again, this ties in with the last question, but that is what we do. That is why we have a smaller, intimate program. We have a couple of hundred members as opposed to a couple of thousand. There's a high level of touch points. There's a stronger relationship. There is a lot more personalization within the program. It's pretty much everything different than what you may receive from a 24/7 gym or from an online program where you are just following a plan or following a workout guide. So again, want to make it very clear that that is the difference, and having that accountability and having that support is what is ultimately going to help you see results and be able to keep those results. So they're the 8. And the reason why I wanted to discuss those first was to be able to now go through why we sort of list those and why we have those. But we have found that these frequently asked questions can be extremely effective, within our marketing. So for you personally, think about what your frequently asked questions are. It may be some of these ones that, I have mentioned above. Your mind is probably going to go straight to cost and timetable and program and equipment. If people, have asked those things in the past, but wanting you to think deeper. And that's where, like I've sort of discussed with the 8 above, they're things that prospects may be uncertain of. So perhaps these questions don't get asked very often or never at all, but that they are questions that are on the mind of potential clients and potential prospects, even if they are left unsaid. So you are a fitness professional, you've been in the industry hopefully for a while, or even if you are just starting out, it is important to remember the worries and concerns and the anxieties that people have when they're starting something new. Put on their hat for a moment and think about what are the concerns that they may have before starting something new. And that's when you can start to form some questions around that, even if you've never been asked them. So just a few examples here, which I've already, discussed above in different ways, but some of the other questions, is everyone in your program really fit? I haven't trained for months. Will this be too hard for me? What if I can't keep up? I'm not very strong. What if I can't lift the barbell? I can't do lunges because of my bad knee. Is that going to be a problem? So again, they're all variations of some of those longer ones that I've mentioned above, but let your creativity run wild here. If there are questions that you do actually get on an ongoing basis, add them in. If there are ones that even you've only been asked once, add them in, because if one person's asked you, there may be another 100 that are thinking it. And even if you've never been asked it, if you feel like it could be a roadblock for people getting started, add in a question and put an answer in. So like I've just mentioned there, these are the questions that run through many prospects' thoughts but are never verbalized, or maybe they are. And if they are, kudos to them for being honest. So from my experience, these burning questions often don't see the light of day. It's hard to open up and be vulnerable to someone, whether it's you, the owner, trainer, coach, whoever is listening or watching this, because you are the professional and this person is in a state of vulnerability. They're potentially overweight, they're potentially unfit, they're potentially not very strong. And for them to flat out ask you something that is on their mind and they are very mindful and I guess concerned about, it takes a certain type of person to actually ask that. So if they have asked that and you have had the question, great. But remember, there's a lot of questions that are left unsaid, especially if they don't know you yet. So think from their perspective when possible. It's an opportunity to get on the front foot and to put these questions out there and more importantly, provide the answers. So just by reading these answers, it would help ease a lot of the worry and anxiety that some prospects may have about starting your facility. And we can often overlook just how much worry and just how much anxiety there can be when starting out a new fitness program. For us as fitness professionals, we do it day in, day out. We walk into the gym like it's nothing. It's our second home. And most of our clients that come in 3, 4, 5 times a week, there's no issue for them anymore. Perhaps once upon a time before they started, there was. But for someone new, it is a huge step when they're kicking off something they haven't done before. And if they've had a bit of time off exercise or maybe they've never, ever done it before, it's going to be a huge step for them. We need to make sure we're able to help them make that first step in their journey. A frequently asked questions section on your website, plus regular posts on your social media about these questions will be helpful as well. It's bringing awareness to the fact that these questions are common, and it's normal to have these questions about starting a new fitness program. For a lot of people, if they have these thoughts, they may think they're the only ones that have these thoughts. So having these questions in your marketing, on your website, and if they do come across them, they're going to realize that it's not only them that has these thoughts. And it's going to highlight that you, as the fitness professional, know it is a concern and you know how to help these people with these concerns. So my advice to you is to come up with some frequently asked questions that you have had or that you think that your clients or potential clients may have. You can use some of these ones above that I listed with you earlier, make changes to them, make them your own, put them on your website, use them as content for your organic posts on your social media, and just put it out in your community. So if the right person comes across it, they are going to be able to resonate with them if they have any or all of these worries that you have. Thanks for listening, guys.